AP Cram, Calculus AB, Free Response Exam Review. Question 32, Derivative of a Fraction. The function f is defined on the closed interval -5 for. A closed interval means these endpoints are included. The graph consists of 3 line segments, line segment 1, line segment 2, and line segment 3, and is shown in this figure. Let g be the function defined by g of x is equivalent to the integral from -3 to x, so any value of x, of f of t dt. The function h is defined by h of x is equivalent to g of x divided by 5x. Find h prime of 3. So we basically have to find the derivative of this fraction. And your visceral reaction to this query or question might be, well, I don't have all the information I need to solve it. But in actuality, you do. So I'll give you a moment to think, and for those of you who don't know what to think, sit tight. The explanation is coming soon. All right, so we're asked to find h prime of 3, okay? So first we're going to do h prime of x. And in order to figure out the derivative of a fraction, you're going to use the quotient rule, which states that the derivative of this thing right here is equivalent to the denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator. And right away, we're able to solve for the derivative of 5 with respect to x. That's just going to give us a 5. And this is all over the denominator squared, okay? So now let's just do some rearrangement, a little bit of algebraic rearrangement to make things neater. And all we did was we brought the 5 to the forefront in this term right here, okay? All right, so now we can go ahead and analyze this monster at the initial condition of 3. So we have 5 times 3, because we plugged in 3 for x, and times g prime of 3, minus 5 times g of 3, over 25 times 3 squared, because we plugged in 3 for the x term right here, okay? Now, if you recall, we previously solved for g of 3 in, I think it's video 30 of this series, and in video 31 of this flashcard series, we figured out that g prime of 3 is equal to f of t, so we can just, go ahead and figure out our g prime of 3 by looking at 3 on the graph of f and noticing that when you plug in 3, you yield a result of -2, okay? So that's where this -2 comes from. We multiplied 15 times 3. Now we plugged in -2 for f of 3, or g prime of 3 rather. And in video 30 of this series, we went through this long solution to figure out that g of 3 is 9. And we just multiply the denominator, okay? 9 times 25 is going to give you 225. And if you have a hard time with this, what I always do is I would just do 10 times 25, which is 250, and subtract 25, since it's really one less to get 225. But in actuality, you should really be using your calculator to save on time, okay? All right, so when we go ahead and simplify, we get -75 in the numerator and 225 we still have in the denominator. We can divide the numerator and the denominator by 75, so we get 75 in the numerator, and 75 times 3 gives you 225, so we get 3 225 divided by 75 is equivalent to 3. So you get 3 in the denominator. So the final result is negative 1/3. All right? Okay.